A debt of $10,000 today is going to be repaid with equal payments made in 4, 6, and 9 months from now. If money earns 5% simple interest, how large are the payments? Well, let's begin by trying to develop a time diagram. And since we're going to use today as the focal date, I've gone ahead and marked that with a red star. We want to make equal payments in 4 months, 6 months, and 9 months from today. However, I don't know how big those payments are. All I know is that these payments are going to be the same size. So I can represent these as X dollars each. So our goal now becomes the following. If I can take each one of these payments of X dollars and I can discount them or find the present value of each one of these payments and add them all together, that sum should be equal to my debt of $10,000 today. Since all of our arrows are pointed to the left, we know we're going to have to apply the principal value or present value formula. In this case, we don't really know what FV is. We just know that it's some amount. I'm going to call it X. However, we should be able to input the R and T variables. So, for example, the rate is 5%. And this first payment happens 4 months from today. So we can use 4 over 12 for that parameter. Let's go ahead and use our calculator to determine the coefficient that's actually going to be in front of our X variable. We can do this in 2 ways. We can either take the coefficient that's in front of the X, which is the number 1, and then divide by the denominator of our fraction. However, our calculator has the 1 over X button, and it's a little bit easier to use that here. So let's calculate our denominator, 1 plus 0.05 times 4 over 12. And then let's hit the 1 over X button. This is going to move that value into the numerator and make it the coefficient in front of our X variable. And since we still have some work to do with this coefficient, let's leave it as accurate as possible so that we can get the most accurate possible final answer for X. So now that we've done this once and we understand the procedure, we just need to repeat this 2 more times. So with number 2, we're going to be looking at our payment happening at 6 months. That means we're going to update our T parameter to be 6 over 12. And we can go through the same calculation on our calculator. 1 plus 0.05, in this case times 6 divided by 12, and then hitting the 1 over X button. And similarly for number 3, let's take 1 plus 0.05, multiplying by 9 and dividing by 12, and then hitting the 1 over X button. Excellent. So now that we have these 3 decimal numbers ready to go, we can move into our final step. We know that our $10,000 payment today should be equal to the sum of the present values that we've calculated. In other words, we know that 10,000 should be equal to all 3 of these coefficients added together times X. Adding up our coefficients, we get about 2.92. So in order to solve for X, we're going to divide both sides by this large decimal number. Performing the indicated division gives us that X should be about $3,421.06. In other words, if we go back up to our time diagram, a payment of $10,000 today is equivalent to 3 payments that are of the same size, and that size is $3,421.06. One of those payments happens 4 months from today, one in 6 months, and one in 9 months.